After years of uncertainty, Daredevil, Born Again has finally arrived, officially bringing Matt Murdock back into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The long-awaited return of Charlie Cox's Daredevil and Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin has thrilled fans, but it has also sparked questions about where the new series fits into the MCU timeline. Given the complex chronology of Marvel's post-Endgame era, the placement of Born Again isn't as straightforward as it might seem. So, when exactly does Daredevil, Born Again take place? Here's everything we know. The official MCU timeline confirms Born Again follows Agatha all along. While Born Again doesn't provide an exact date within its episodes, Disney Plus has given fans an important clue. The series is positioned in the MCU Complete Timeline section on the platform, right after Agatha all along. According to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, an official timeline, WandaVision occurred in fall 2023, and Agatha all along takes place 3 years later, placing it in fall 2026. Since Born Again follows Agatha, it must take place sometime afterward. This is further supported by Episode 2 of Born Again, which shows Wilson Fisk being sworn in as New York's mayor on New Year's Eve. If Episode 1 occurs in late 2026, then the second episode, and the rest of the series, likely takes place in early 2027. How Born Again's time jump complicates its placement. However, there's an additional wrinkle in the timeline. The first episode, Heaven's Half Hour, features a prologue in which Bullseye kills Foggy Nelson. The story then jumps forward 1 year, meaning the main events of the series take place well after this tragic moment. If Disney Plus' timeline accounts for this gap, it suggests that the prologue happens in late 2026, which would push the bulk of the series' events into 2027 or later. However, Disney Plus typically places projects based on when their main storylines occur rather than when their earliest scenes take place. For example, Thor features a flashback to 965 AD, but since most of the film is set in 2010, it's positioned accordingly. Given this pattern, it's likely that Born Again's prologue occurs before Agatha all along, while the main events unfold after, where Born Again falls between other MCU events. Another key detail comes from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, an official timeline, which confirms that Born Again's prologue couldn't have happened just any time. The last chronological appearance of Matt Murdock before Born Again was in She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. The book reveals that She-Hulk unfolds throughout 2025, with its finale set in the fall. Since Matt was still actively working as a lawyer and Daredevil in She-Hulk, the events of Born Again, including Foggy's death, must take place after that. This supports the theory that the prologue happens no earlier than late 2025 or early 2026, aligning with the 2026 to 27 timeframe for the rest of the season. How much time has passed since Netflix's Daredevil? For longtime fans of Daredevil, it's important to note just how much time has passed within the MCU since Matt Murdock's last solo outing. While Marvel has never explicitly confirmed the in-universe timeline of Netflix's Daredevil, its official website provides some clarity. The site places Daredevil Season 3 between Doctor Strange, fall 2016, and Thor, Ragnarok, fall 2017. Since all the other Defenders characters had additional seasons set after Doctor Strange, it's likely that Daredevil Season 3 took place in 2017. If this timeline holds, then Daredevil, Born Again takes place at least 8 years after the events of Daredevil Season 3. That means, within the MCU, Matt Murdock has been operating as Daredevil for nearly a decade since we last saw him take down Wilson Fisk. Conclusion: a new era for Daredevil. While the exact dates are a bit murky, all signs point to Daredevil, Born Again unfolding sometime in early 2027, following Agatha all along. The prologue likely occurs in late 2025 or early 2026, bridging the gap between Matt's She-Hulk appearance and his return in Born Again. With this new era of Daredevil, the MCU is forging ahead while acknowledging the past. Fans may not have all the answers yet, but one thing is clear: Daredevil's story is far from over.